G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, in the colour pink, playing as the Malians, it is Salami. And on the north side of the map, with a win record of 48 wins, 6 losses, currently rank 11 on the ladder, playing as the English in red, it's Grand Chicken. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here as these two players. I would tell you that they're preparing for Golden League this weekend, but Golden League this weekend is a bit different. You're starting out with 12 villages instead of the normal 6. What I think they're looking to emulate here is, for anybody who hasn't seen Age of Empires 2, there's a whole concept in it called Empire Wars. And basically, the reason why they do, or what happens is, like, Age of Empires starts out, or Age of Empires 2 starts out, and I think you have, like, what, 3 villages when you start. And the first 8 minutes of the game pretty much go the same way every single game. Maybe not 8 minutes, maybe like 6 minutes, 5 minutes, right? But it's very much the same thing every single game. And so they were like, well, what if we started in the feudal age and we all started with like extra vills and extra buildings, and then that way it wouldn't be the same like boring 8 minutes that are very predictable. And I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that the mode took off, but it definitely kind of opened some people's eyes to, you know, the fast nature of Age of Empires, because obviously it takes some time to heat up. But I think they might be looking to do something similar to that. I guess the other thing to note is, like, StarCraft originally started out, I remember in StarCraft 1, I think you started off with 4 drones or 4 workers. And then in StarCraft 2, it was 6, because I remember 6 pulling people like crazy. Don't judge me. Don't at me. And then they changed it from 6. I think it went up to 12 or something like that. But basically, they just doubled the worker count. And the idea is that it makes the early game faster. It's easier, or faster to get through the early game. So it means that you get to the action sooner. But at the same time, it does change balance for a lot of things, a lot of civilizations. Like English, as an example, you want to try and men-at-arms rush somebody with 12 villages. Well, hold on a minute. 12 villages, it means I'm aging up sooner. So I'm going to be able to defend those men-at-arms, so they're not going to be as impactful. And all of a sudden, you know, it changes the whole landscape of the game. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go. And, you know, whether there is a potential for the developers to look at that as a potential option. I'm curious what you guys would think as well. How would you feel about extra villages being added into Age of Empires 4 to try and speed up the game? Because maybe it is that, you know, maybe people want to get into the action. I mean, the action starts pretty early in most games, right? Like, we've got an English player who's gone for the earliest possible age up, a 9-2 age up, and he's aging up with 5 villages on the council hall. This is going to be one of the fastest English age ups that you will see. I think even in my guide that I did when Age of Empires 4 first came out, where I'm like, hey guys, if you're playing the English, check out this English longbow rush, right? And I don't even think I advocated for 5 vills on the landmark. That's a lot of vills. So if he's looking to pump out units, these are going to be very, very fast. He's already halfway through at 3 minutes and 8 seconds. So I'm expecting like a 343, 345, somewhere around that region. Plenty of sheep found as well for him. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this game goes, but I'll tell you what, I'm just going to sit back. I'm putting my legs up. I got my Red Bull in hand, and I'm looking just to chill. I just noticed that the red light on my mouse is on as well. That means I'm on low battery. And I'm running one of these Logitech mice. They're wireless, but look at this. We got 8 vills on this landmark. Dude, the meta is getting wild when it comes to age up speeds. What is going on here? Everybody is just aging up as quickly as they can. Look at this right here. And yeah, it looks like my call is pretty good. What did I say? 346, something like that. So I'm about a second off, so not too bad. And we've got units straight away. So this is your... I mean, we were just talking about like the prospect of additional villages that the Golden League is doing. Do you really need to speed up this game when you've got units coming out at 4 minutes anyway? I mean, they're just kind of chilling at the moment. What did I say this guy was? Rank 11 or something like that? I don't know who Grand Chicken is, by the way. I think it's obviously like a Smurf account for Vortex, Lucifron, the Mister. You know, it's somebody who's really, really good. Is just smurfing on this. Excuse me, Longbow, you don't have the right to come out at 4 minutes into this game and go idle for 25 seconds. If I was coaching you right now, I would be like, I can't believe you, Grand Chicken. What is this? Like, I wouldn't expect this from a platinum player, let alone from rank 11. Finally, that Longbow got to be joining the rest of his buddies, though, out there, making his way across the map. I think he must have gone AFK for a little bit. You know, maybe he had to, like, he was taking a sip of the soup. I guess that's the way I'll say it. Professional Scout's going to be coming through now for Salami on the bottom side. Stable going to be thrown down. Look how many vills. Everyone is just rushing things. And this is one interesting thing, because I mentioned coaching before, right? Like, often I'll be like, hey, look, don't rush things. If you take 5 vills to build something, it's going to be nowhere near as efficient as 1 villager. But I guess when it comes to the speed that you're looking to do things, I mean, there's obviously haste required in this situation, and Salami begins researching warrior scouts, going to be opening up with more scouts. Let's ride on board with him and see. He's only got the single scout out, so you wouldn't expect warrior scouts to be coming out. But he's going to move into professional scouts as well, and he's going to start adding in more and more scouts. We do see there's a scout followed by a warrior scout, and oh, it does increase the cost. Wait, are the Malian scouts just more expensive than normal scouts because they can go into warrior scouts? Surely not. Longbows on the backside. These guys are going to be quickly handled. He could actually just look to go into a sofa right now just to clean this up. But I tell you what, then you kind of lose the utility of the warrior scout. So he's coming out now. Warrior scout, one of the fastest units in the game, 1.88 movement speed. We do see him picking up the very first, and just continuing to rally out towards this. Now, one of the things to note, we actually saw this in the last game that we casted, and interestingly, the spawns were almost identical. This is kind of wild. I mean, the only difference was you had a forest in this position, but our English player that we were casting did go for an early hunt. And one of the things to note is that against the English, you can kind of be relaxed, right? Like, they're not always going to be looking to take hunts. I say in about 80% of games, the English player won't even look to take their hunts. Whether that's going to be the type of game we see here. And look at this, longbows just streaming across the map. Full longbows. Actually, there's the first spearman. So we do have that barracks coming out now from Grand Chicken. And yeah, it's starting to heat up, that is for sure. Salami going to be on the defensive, looking to throw down a blacksmith here. Going to be moving into sofas? Nope, not even moving into sofas. Now, he gets really good value from the upgrades at the blacksmith here. So the sooner he moves into this, the better it's actually going to be for him, because +1 is going to be adding a total of, I mean, when you think about it, right, going from 7 to 8, that's like, what, 13%? 13% attack increase? Like, that's pretty crazy good. That is for sure. So that's definitely a good thing to note. But look at this. We got warrior scouts moving down to clean up this position. He drops down the deer carcass in here. Warrior scout going to be moving out. Now, keep in mind that warrior scouts do have that... Oh, my, look at the... Oh, what is the regen speed on that warrior scout? Are you serious right now? Did that thing get buffed? What is that regen speed? Did you guys see that? That thing was going to the moon. Oh, my lord. That looked like... Excuse me. I thought those were... Didn't that get nerfed? Did they revert the warrior scout? I got to check the patch notes. That is crazy. Oh my lord, did you see how fast that was going up? Those things, oh my lord, those things have got medics healing them right now. They got priests in the back. We've got +1 ranged armor coming through. Honestly, I'd be more tempted to go for +1 attack just because I feel like it's going to survive. I mean, to be honest, you're probably offsetting the damage, right? Like 6 down to 5 versus 7 up to 8. It's actually better to go into the ranged armor. Never mind me. Professional scout's going to be moving out, or rather warrior scout's going to be moving out towards the north side. More aggression coming in from our English player. Farms also added in. We do have the blacksmith on the backside. He looks to start picking up +1 ranged attack, and now going to be looking to pick up all of these deer on that northern pack. Wheelbarrow now completed as well. Remember, all that gold trickling in for our Malian player from the pit mine. 102 gold a minute, so plenty of gold in there. Outpost going to be going down, but he's able to spend all that gold on upgrades. We see double broadaxe coming through, wheelbarrow coming through. Professional scouts has already come through. The upgrade for his armor has come in, and so now just looking to pick up all of these deer carcasses. Still more professional scouts, or more warrior scouts running out, and he's got them everywhere. Look at this hunting cabin, or rather hunting cabin, pit mine coming in over on that east side. Keep in mind, he's going to be able to do a huge expansion over here. This is really good against an immobile civilization like the English, right? Like, English very much looking to play infantry only. So while Salami is losing out on this south side, he's also gaining something in the form of a safer expansion, a larger expansion. Could even look to send a villa out here over towards on the west side. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, I did read a comment, and I will address this. Someone said, hey, Drongo, would you mind using the friend and foe colors when you're casting games? Just because it's very hard to tell the difference between pink and red, green and teal, and I agree with you. It is hard to tell the difference. The problem that we have is if we do turn that on, let me see if I can find the hotkey for it. I know there is a hotkey. There it is. If we do turn it on, you'll see that my villages are red, but they're showing up as blue because I'm viewing Salami. The whole base is red. So if I switch perspective, now all of a sudden it works, all right? So we can watch it from Grand Chicken's perspective, and we get blue on blue. But then on the mini-map, his base is red. And it just throws me off completely. I don't know why it's this way. It's just this way. And as a result, it makes it much easier for me to say, look, I appreciate that. Look, you've got colorblind. You're colorblind, or that it's hard for you to see. It's hard for me to see. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it's a lot more confusing when I turn it on. So until the devs fix friend and foe colors in replays, it's just... It's not good. And then there's no easy way to fix it, right? Because I'm viewing from the perspective of Grand Chicken. I'm the friend, and I'm viewing my foe. And then I change my perspective over towards Salami, and now all of a sudden I'm a friend, so now I've got colors flipping back and forward. That's not right. That shouldn't be how it works. So I think like maybe the way it should work is that you just have default colors when you're spectating, when you turn on that friend foe option in these games, so that you've got blue that's up here, red that's down here, and then when you switch sides, it doesn't change. I don't know why it's... I mean, now the villagers are showing up blue here. Yeah, I got no idea how this thing works. All I know is it doesn't work the way it should. Anyway, we've been off topic a lot this game, haven't we? I mean, this game's been going for 11 minutes. Let me shift it over to the income. I feel like we've barely even spoken about this game, but I mean, to be fair, it's just been Salami collecting Salami collecting the deer and Grand Chicken not committing to a feudal push. Like, that's what it is. Interestingly, Grand Chicken's gone for a whole bunch of upgrades behind this, but we haven't seen any battering rams, which is interesting to me, because normally you'd expect the English player to be setting up a little bit of a base camp, looking to start pushing in with battering rams, move that base camp slightly forward, get the arrow slits in on them, but we haven't seen that. Instead, we've got English longbows that are bugging, which is always a little bit funny. Look how they carry that they draw that string over their shoulder. It's a special power move. Once they've got +1, they do that just so they've got a little bit more power in there. You can see right there's the +1. So now looking to push in from this north side. Interestingly, that is particularly interesting on that housing position. I'm not sure what that's all about. Salami, you do have the option of putting your houses around the pit mine. He's up to 102 there. And now we do see more reinforcements coming through. So we're right on board with Grand Chicken as he looks to defend against a pretty big scout army. Hold the phone right here. Keep in mind, these scouts, they don't have a lot of health on them, but they do regen pretty quickly. So as long as they're able to survive a couple of hits, they can get that regen coming through. Look at that regen coming in. My lord, that is regenning so quickly. How much health a second is that coming up? I don't even know. I can't count that fast. But Scout's overwhelming right now. Grand Chicken... And I tell you what, we got ourselves a little bit of a scout defense. He's just in the face of his enemy. +1's obviously come through. He's got that full 8 attack. +1 a melee armor has come through as well for Grand Chicken now, which is definitely the right choice up against this. But it looks like he's going to be moving into men-at-arms, and this is definitely the right timing for it. Ideally, playing against, or when you're playing as the English, you don't want to go into men-at-arms too early, just because low numbers, they will get picked off. If you don't have the longbows to back them up, then you don't have anything to pick off enemy archers. So it does make sense that you would be moving into this. But at the same time, Grand Chicken's mass is starting to dwindle. And notably, there is not a lot of deer left on this map. I mean, we've had 1 deer pack taken. We've had the 2nd deer pack taken. We've had the 3rd deer pack taken. It was somewhere down here. Where was it? Down over here. 4th deer pack remains. And of course, we do see that we've got our Salami Malian player very happily just gathering up all of this food safely underneath his town center. Keep in mind, obviously, he could always look to throw a cow or two out if he ever does need to. But it means that he doesn't have to go onto farms. Compare that to the English player who wants to be on farms, right? Like, this is a good thing to be on farms as the English. But we've already got how many farms? Are you talking 16 farms? 19 farms already up for our English player. So that's a pretty big difference when you compare that, you know, you've spent 700 resources on farms versus someone who hasn't spent any resources on farms. Obviously, there are trade-offs, though. I mean, you've gone into scouts, you've gone into a type of strategy, but I think those scouts have definitely got some utility to them, and we now really see that as he continues to move across the map. Still yet to... Has he not... No, he has scouted this. So, still yet to pick up those 7 deer out there. I guess he just doesn't need them yet. I mean, he does have the cow. We do see the cow carcass, or the cattle carcass here. But, yeah, interestingly, hasn't gone into that just yet. Let's have a look at this rally point. Where's he heading? Up towards the boar? Maybe looking to attack from a different angle? Looks like we've got barracks being added in as well. So that's going to be our 2nd barracks that's added in. This is a bit of a weird barrack, or rather 3rd barracks. This is a bit of a weird barracks, isn't it? Inside the wood line. You don't normally expect to see that. And hold on. Have we got ourselves a stealthy little sheep right here? Sean, what are you up to? Sean, what are you doing, mate? You're just doing yourselves a little bit of scouting, eh? A little bit of sheep scouting. Don't mind if they do. I'm just going to quickly change it to Grand Chicken's perspective. And hold on a minute. We got an age up coming through. It's going to be the Farimba Garrison for Salami. Now, one of the things to note, men-at-arms against the Malians, I feel like it's a no-go, right? And this is something that I often talk about in this matchup. I think that this matchup is a lost cause in the feudal age against the Malians. I don't think that there's a reason for you to stay feudal as the English. I think you want to get to castle as quickly as possible, but we do see the men-at-arms going to be pushing out. As soon as you see these men-at-arms, I suspect we're going to see immediately from the Farimba Garrison. I mean, you might see javelins, but I suspect the right, or the likely thing here is that we're going to be seeing Musafati coming out, because Musafati here are going to be incredibly good. Once you get +2 in, together with the stealth, you're just going to be able to get on top of these English longbow, destroy the men-at-arms. It's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be fair. Siege Engineering finally coming through for Grand Chicken, but you can't help but feel like it might be too little too late. Once Salami gets to Castle Age, you're going to be up against the crazy production, the insane production of that Farimba Garrison, and all of a sudden that production is going to go through the roof. You're talking 4 stables and 2 rangers, rather 5 stables and 2 rangers. So the likelihood that you see Musafati here is pretty high, and we do see the upgrades now starting to come through. It's going to be veteran archers, veteran sofa, and imported armor together with archers. So he's going to be moving into archer sofa composition here, even against the men-at-arms. And I guess with the veterancy, he's probably got the option, or he probably has the ability to fight against that. Those Age 2 men-at-arms. They're not going to be anywhere near as scary or justifying of those Musafati in response. But slowly and steadily marching around the edge of the base. Archers look like they might get caught out of position. Veterancy does come through, and a couple of them put on their roller skates, manage to make their way back towards the base safely. Nobody goes down except for one who does get picked off. No, he doesn't. Everybody survives except for that guy. And now the Sofa are coming out. Sofa going to be able to tank up the front line. We can see the archers looking to try and focus down any of these spears here. There's a couple spears in the mix, looking to actually just focus down the men-at-arms, and now going to be looking onto that back line. And Salami trying his best to hold on. He should be more than capably able to do this. Remember that Siege Engineering's come through from Grand Chicken at this point in the game. And so there is always the prospect of battering rams, but if you don't have the units to defend the battering rams, then what's the point in even making them? And we do see now Grand Chicken is going to get cleaned up like a delicious chicken sandwich. I tell you what, I could go for a chicken sandwich right now. Anybody eating a chicken sandwich here? Anybody going to go get a chicken sandwich after this? I tell you what, I had a Reuben last night. I don't think there's any chicken on that, but I tell you what, I wish there was, because that was delicious. But it could have been more delicious with chicken. Anyway, there you go. King's Palace going to be coming down now on the Malian, or on the English side. And we do see... Hold on. Did they increase the size of the King's Palace? No, they didn't. Okay. I was going to say, it looks a little bit bigger. Why does it look so big? Maybe I'm just going crazy. Don't worry about me, guys. So King's Palace coming up. So what does... This is the thing, right? Like, what's the best thing to move into from the English perspective? Obviously, you want knights to try and deal with these sofas, so you're able to catch them, run them down, and kill them. But then at the same time, you need something to deal with the prospect of enemy going into Musafati. So I think you got to just play it by ear. And I think for me now the question is going to be whether Grand Chicken survives. He's got units rallied to the front of his base. Maybe you could even look for Spearman Mangonel. That could be an option for you. But then you're going up against Salami, one of the world's best players. And he's just going to dodge her. He's going to duck, dip, dive, dodge, and dodge. Spearman coming out, rally to the front here. Keep in mind behind this, Salami is just pumping out units non-stop. More reinforcements going to be coming in. It's 5 Sofa looking to hit the deck, and that's going to be a good game right there. There's no way Grand Chicken survives this. He's looking to rally crossbows in. A couple Spearmen looking to hold it as well. But at the end of the day, the numbers are too great here. And even though you're on 3 TCs, he's on 3 TCs, right? No, he's only on 2 TCs. There's no chance that he's going to be able to overcome the amount of vills he's going to lose here. Already up to 22 vill losses, and that's game getting called. Oh, there you go. A little bit of a win for Professional Scouts. We've seen it twice already this week. Is Professional Scouts on the rise? Are the Professional Scout stocks becoming meta? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Go check out Salami. I'll leave a link in the description, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.